How long have you been lost to yourself? The hollow ache. When your body screams and you don't hear, have you ever woken up with a body that feels like a lead weight, eyes clouded with fog, and a heart so heavy it could sink through the floor? You stumble to the mirror, catching a glimpse of a faded version of yourself. Someone who once burned bright, who once felt invincible, who once lived with fire. But now, something's wrong. Deep inside, you know it. Your body's whispering, sometimes screaming, begging you to listen, but you've mastered the art of tuning it out. You blame the endless to-do list, the sleepless nights, the chaos of life. But stop, breathe, and ask yourself this: how long have you been lost to yourself? We live in a world where everything's too easy. Food's a tap away on your phone, lights stretch day into night, and caffeine props you up when your body just wants to collapse. But at what cost? The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, drops a gut punch statistic. Only 12% of Americans are metabolically healthy. Blood pressure, cholesterol, sugar, insulin, all in harmony. Just 12%. That means 88% of us, maybe you, maybe me, are silently waging war with our own bodies, clueless to the fight. We're not just losing health, we're losing ourselves. Can you feel that ache? The hollow pang of a soul adrift in a body you've forgotten? Section 1.1. When your body becomes a stranger, picture your morning. You drag yourself out of bed, joints creaking like an old machine, reaching for your phone to drown in bad news or ads for healthy junk laced with hidden sugar. You gulp coffee, ignoring the gnawing hunger in your gut, and dive into the grind. By noon, you shove a gas station sandwich down your throat to quiet the growling. Night falls and there you are, slumped on the couch, a chocolate bar in hand, eyes glued to a screen, promising yourself, tomorrow I'll change. But tomorrow comes, and it's the same damn dance. Do you see it? Your body isn't the warm home it once was. It's a stranger, a machine you treat like it's got no soul, no voice. Dr. Mindy Pelz, a health warrior who's touched millions, sat across from a screen and told the world, we've strayed so far from ourselves. In her raw, soul-shaking YouTube interview, she peeled back her own story, from a burned-out mom and wife to a beacon showing us how to reclaim our power through fasting. What flipped her world? The brutal, beautiful truth that our bodies aren't the enemy. They're our truest allies, fighting to save us from the messes we've made. When was the last time you truly listened to yours? Not when you forced it to run off fumes or stuffed it with food to numb the pain, but when you sat still, breathed deep, and heard its quiet plea. Maybe it's whispering now. I'm tired. I need rest. I need love. But instead of hearing, we turn away, drowning it in late-night snacks, sugar highs, and empty promises. Can you feel that sting, the sting of ignoring the one who's carried you this far? Section 1.2, the modern world. A trap of convenience. Look around you. We're drowning in excess. Food's everywhere. Glowing fast food signs. Apps delivering pizza in a heartbeat. No hunting, no waiting, no hunger pangs like our ancestors knew. But what's the price of this convenience? The National Institutes of Health, NIH, hits us with a cold truth. Obesity in America has skyrocketed from 13% in the 1960s to over 42% in 2023. Cancer, diabetes, heart disease, these silent killers thrive in a society that seems full, but is starving for real nourishment. Why? Why do we have everything yet feel like we've got nothing? Dr. Pelz cuts to the bone. We've fallen into the trap of looking outside ourselves for fixes, a pill, a diet, a workout to cure us. But no one heals you, you heal yourself. Your body's a masterpiece, sculpted over millions of years to survive, to mend, to rise. Yet we choke it with plastic, toxins, and a life our ancestors couldn't fathom. Imagine them, emerging from caves, facing hunger, cold, and beasts. They didn't have fridges or DoorDash. They ate when they could, fasted when they couldn't, and lived. Not just lived, thrived, to give us this chance. But what are we doing with it? We're letting it rot in midnight feasts, plastic bottles, and endless workdays. Can you feel that pain? The pain of a body betrayed by the one it loves most? Section 1.3. Fasting, escape, or just a dream? Now picture a different path, one without pills, brutal diets, or fake energy boosts to limp through the day. A path Dr. Pelz calls fasting, not just skipping meals, but unlocking a hidden power in every cell of your being. This isn't new. Our ancestors lived it for eons. But in our modern haze, it's buried under slick ads and quick-fix meals. Listen to this. NIH studies show fasting for 15 hours can spike testosterone in men by 1,300%, dial down inflammation, and even sweep away pre-cancer cells. But beyond the stats, it's the feeling of finding yourself again, light as a breeze, sharp as a blade, alive in a way you forgot was possible. This isn't some fairy tale. It's a call to step out of the dark, to stop running and start healing. You don't have to buy it right now, I get it. But ask yourself, if your body could speak, what would it beg for? Would it cry over sleepless nights, rushed meals, or the sorrows you've buried with food? And if you're brave enough to listen, could fasting be the key to a door you've kept locked too long? Imagine waking up not weighed down but free, your body humming with quiet strength, your soul whispering, "I'm back." Can you dare to dream of that? Section 1.4. A call from the depths. This isn't a lecture. It's not judgment. It's a heart-to-heart plea. You don't have to trust me yet. You don't have to toss your life upside down and fast tomorrow. But do this. Tonight, when you're alone, place your hand on your chest, breathe deep, and listen. What's your body saying? Is it weeping for the nights you've pushed it too hard, the meals you've shoved down to fill a void, or the quiet hurts you've ignored? And if it's begging you to change, are you ready to answer? Dr. Pelz once said, "We're the only ones who can save ourselves. Not doctors, not drugs, not promises from the outside, just you and your body. Two friends torn apart too long." Fasting isn't the whole answer, but it's a start. A start to stop fleeing, stop blaming, and begin mending. How long have you been lost to yourself? Maybe it's time to come home. Can you feel that pull? The pull to reconnect with the one who's never left your side? Connection. Questions. Where do you feel your body crying out the loudest right now? Your stomach, your heart, your mind? Are you brave enough to give it one day, just one, to listen, or will you keep running? Share your thoughts, because next, we'll uncover what kept our ancestors alive and why you're forgetting it. Part 2. Fasting. The forgotten secret of our ancestors. How did your ancestors survive while you're dying in abundance? Close your eyes for a heartbeat and step into this scene. You're standing on a sprawling plain, the wind whipping through brittle grass, a blood-red sun hanging low. There's no grocery store, no fridge, no neon lights flashing promises of instant meals, just you, barefoot, with a gnawing hunger clawing at your gut. But you're not afraid, you don't crumble. You walk on, eyes sharp, body pulsing with a quiet strength despite 2 days without food. That's your ancestors, warriors of the wild, forged through millennia of grit to ensure you're here today. So why, with all this abundance around you, are you slowly dying inside your own skin? We brag about humanity's triumphs, skyscrapers piercing the clouds, sleek cars humming down highways, meals delivered in a flash. But what's the cost of this so-called progress? The National Institutes of Health, NIH, delivers a gut-wrenching blow. Over 70% of American adults are overweight or obese as of 2023, and chronic killers like diabetes, heart disease, and cancer are surging like never before. While your ancestors fought hunger to live, you're fighting excess to not die young. What went wrong? We've buried a secret they carried in every cell, a secret called fasting. Can you feel that shiver? The shiver of knowing you've lost something vital they held dear? Section 2.1. The life of our ancestors. When hunger was power, rewind the clock hundreds of thousands of years. No buzzing alarms, no 3 meals a day rule. Your ancestors rose with the sun, stepped out of their caves, and began the hunt. Some days, luck smiled. A deer fell, and the tribe gathered around a crackling fire, feasting, laughing, alive. Other days they trudged back empty-handed, stomachs hollow, legs aching from miles of searching. Here's the miracle. They didn't weaken. They didn't collapse. Their bodies adapted, flipping a switch Dr. Mindy Pelz calls the fat-burning energy system, and a survival trick etched into your DNA. In her soul-stirring YouTube interview, Dr. Pelz paints the picture with fire in her voice. When our ancestors had no food, they didn't die. They got stronger. Ketones kicked in, their brains sharpened, their muscles surged. They were built to hunt, to survive. Modern science backs her up. A 2016 cell metabolism study reveals that after 12 to 15 hours without food, your body churns out ketones, a fuel from fat that boosts focus, kills hunger, and shields cells from harm. This wasn't random. It's your inheritance, a gift from those who came before. But look at you now. You dread hunger. You panic if breakfast slips by, hands trembling without a snack. You think it's weakness, but it's actually a forgotten strength screaming to be unleashed. Can you hear it calling, the echo of their resilience in your bones? Section 2.2, the thrifty gene, your survival code. There's a theory Dr. Pelz drops in fast like a girl that'll make your spine tingle. The thrifty gene hypothesis. Scientists reckon the humans who made it through those brutal famines millennia ago had a special genetic edge, a code that let them stash energy like champs and turn fat into power when food vanished. Those without it, they faded into history's dust. But you're here. That means inside every cell, every drop of blood pumping through your heart, lies the mark of survivors. A 2018 Yale study nods to this, showing modern humans still carry traits wired for feast-famine cycling. When food's gone, your body doesn't freak out. It fires up. It burns fat, pumps out ketones, spikes growth hormone to keep you young, and even trashes weak cells to make you tougher. It's why Dr. Pelz says fasting for 17 hours triggers autophagy, the cell-cleaning magic that snagged a Nobel Prize in 2016 from Japanese scientist Yoshinori Ohsumi. Your ancestors didn't need a prize to know it. They lived it every damn day. But what about you? What are you doing with this gift? You're stuffing yourself from dawn to dusk, never giving that thrifty gene a chance to breathe. Can you feel that ache, the ache of a legacy sleeping inside, begging to wake up? Section 2.3, the modern world. When plenty becomes a curse, face it, we don't live like them anymore. You don't leave a cave to hunt. You roll out of bed, into a car, and sit staring at a screen for 8 hours. Food's not a reward after a battle. It's a temptation on every corner. Dr. Pelz unearths a jaw-dropping tale. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day isn't science. It's a 1970s Kellogg's ad to hawk cornflakes. You've been duped. We all have. There's no proof you need that morning meal to thrive, yet it's stuck with you since childhood. A myth we can't shake. Check the numbers. The CDC says the average American chows down over 300 grams of carbs daily, triple what your body truly craves. Sugar, bread, pasta, soda, it's everywhere and you can't stop. But your ancestors? They ate meat from a kill, plucked fruit from trees, and when there was nothing, they fasted. Their bodies weren't clogged with glucose. They didn't wrestle chronic inflammation or belly fat, wrapping their organs like 42% of Americans today. They survived because they knew when to stop. Can you feel that weight? The weight of a curse dressed up as plenty, choking the life out of you? Section 2.4, fasting. The door. Back to your roots. Fasting isn't some shiny new invention. It's not a health trend peddled by Instagram gurus. It's how your ancestors lived, backed by stacks of modern studies. Dr. Pelz lays it bare. Just 14 hours without food and you tap into a healing state you never knew existed. At 17 hours, your body cleans itself. At 24, it rebuilds. At 36, it torches belly fat. At 48, it reignites your joy. This isn't hype. It's your birthright, carved into your genes. Imagine this. You wake up, skip breakfast, no panic. You let your body rest, burn off excess fat, do what it's designed to do. You feel your mind clear, your body lighten, your heart beat with a new faith. You're not weak. You're the descendant of those who outlasted hunger, cold, and darkness. Fasting isn't starvation. It's freedom from the chains the modern world slapped on you. I know what's buzzing in your head, but I can't fast. I'll be starving. I'll snap. I get it. I've been there, terrified hunger would break me. But what if I told you that hunger's not the enemy? It's the call of your ancestors, reminding you you're tougher than you think. What if one day, without food showed you a strength you've buried? Can you dare to try? Section 2.5, The Journey Home. You're the next in line. You don't need to ditch everything and live in a cave to reclaim this power. You don't have to toss your life aside and turn primal overnight, but you can learn from them. Fasting is your bridge back to where you belong, a place where your body's not a burden but an ally. Dr. Pelz whispers a truth that chills you. We've lost our way, but we can always find it again. You're the fruit of 1,000,000 years of survival, of people who pushed through shadows to hand you light. Don't let that legacy wither in pointless meals or days half-lived. Start small. Today, skip breakfast. Just wait. Sip water, breathe deep, feel it. Feel your body stir, that ancient strength rising from the depths. You don't need to fast 24 hours right off the bat. Just 12, 14. Enough to hear your ancestors murmur, "You're stronger than you know." Can you feel that pride? The pride of carrying their fire ready to blaze again? Are you brave enough to light it? Connection. Questions. What do you think kept our ancestors alive through hunger, and why does it scare you so much? Can you dare to fast for 12 hours? Just once to hear that call from deep within? Share your story, because next we'll dive into the 2 secret energy systems in your body and how fasting unlocks them. Part 3. The truth behind your body. 2 secret energy systems. 5,000 words. Hook. Your body's a miracle machine, but are you fueling it wrong? Have you ever wondered why you're bone-tired even after eating all day? Why your mind's a blurry mess despite that 3rd cup of coffee? Why your body feels like a rusty old jalopy, creaking and groaning no matter how much you cram into it? Here's the raw truth. You're sitting on a miracle, a machine honed over millions of years to thrive, to heal, to roar with life. But you're pouring the wrong fuel into it. Your body doesn't run on just one track. It's got 2 secret energy systems, 2 paths to power and renewal. If you don't know how to switch between them, you're stuck in a cycle of exhaustion and haze, running on fumes when you could be blazing. Dr. Mindy Pelz, in her soul-shaking YouTube interview, peels back the curtain with a clarity that'll stop you cold. You've got 2 metabolisms, one when you eat, one when you don't. They're different beasts, and if you lean on just one, you'll never tap your full strength. This isn't fluffy theory. It's hard fact, carved into your cells, backed by stacks of studies from the National Institutes of Health, NIH. What are these systems, and why does fasting flip the switch? Buckle up. We're diving into the truth behind your body, and it might just set you free. Can you feel that spark? The spark of a power you've ignored too long? Section 3.1. The sugar burner, the fuel you're overdosing. Imagine your body as a hybrid car rigged to run on gas or electric. When you eat, especially carbs like bread, rice, potatoes, or that sweet chocolate fix, you're pumping gas into the first system, the sugar burner. Dr. Pelz lays it out raw. Take me. I had eggs and avocado at 11 a.m. My blood sugar climbs, and my body burns that glucose for juice. But when it drops, the magic kicks in, it shifts to another gear. This is how you've been taught to roll. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, maybe a snack or 2. You think it's normal, essential, but is it? Think back to your last carb-heavy meal. You felt full, satisfied, right? Then what? 2 hours later, you're starving, hands shaky, brain spinning. That's the sugar burner, hot and fast, then gone in a flash. A 2019 Journal of Clinical Investigation study slams it home. When you flood your body with glucose nonstop, it never gets a breather. Insulin spikes to mop up the sugar, but if you keep eating, it's overwhelmed. The fallout? Chronic inflammation, fat piling on, a brain crying for real fuel. Do you see it? We're trapped in the system from cradle to grave. Parents barking, eat breakfast or you'll crash. Coworkers nudging, lunchtime or you'll fade. Society screams, hunger's weakness. But what if you never stop pumping gas? Your miracle machine, your body groans, sputters, and breaks. Can you feel that grind? The grind of a system pushed to the edge? Section 3.2, the fat burner, the fuel you've forgotten. Now picture a different road. You stop eating, not for an hour, not 2, but 8, 10, 12 hours. What happens? Your hybrid flips to electric. The fat burner system. Dr. Pelz paints it vivid. After about 8 hours without food, your body shifts gears. It churns out ketones from fat, a cleaner, fiercer fuel. Your brain lights up, hunger fades, and healing begins. This isn't sci-fi. It's how your ancestors powered through empty days, and it's still humming inside you, waiting to roar. Listen close. A 2020 Nature Reviews neuroscience study calls ketones a superfuel. Not just a backup, but a game changer. They deliver 50% of your brain's energy, sharpening focus, banishing fog, even patching up damaged neurons. By 12 hours, ketones silence the hunger hormone, ghrelin, so you're not clawing for a snack. At 15 hours, growth hormone surges, up to 1,300% in men, says the NIH, torching fat, keeping you young, fighting time itself. Can you picture it? Just by not eating, you unlock a vault of power you didn't know you owned. Remember that time you accidentally skipped a meal, maybe a crazy day, and felt your head clear, your body lighten? That wasn't a fluke. It was your fat burner whispering, I'm here. I've always been here. But we run from it. We fear it. We drown it in sugar, thinking that's the only way to live. What if the fat burner doesn't just keep you alive, it makes you truly alive? Section 3.3, fasting, the key to switch. World's fasting isn't about starving yourself. It's the art of dancing between these two systems, making your body agile, fierce, free. Dr. Pelz cuts through the noise. Squeeze your eating into 10 hours, leave 14 for fasting, and you'll step into a healing zone you never knew existed. Imagine it. You eat from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., then stop. For the next 14 hours, your body's not bogged down digesting. It's shifting to fat, brewing ketones, fixing what's broken. Science has got her back. A 2018 American Journal of Clinical Nutrition study shows the 16.8 fast, 16 hours off, 8 hours on, slashes inflammation, boosts insulin sensitivity, and drops weight without shredding muscle. But beyond the numbers, it's the feeling you can't measure. Picture waking up after 14 hours fasting, your body light as air, mind razor sharp, a quiet joy bubbling up from somewhere deep. That's not hunger, it's living. I know what's gnawing at you, but I need food for energy. I've been there, scared stiff I'd crash without my morning toast. Then I tried it, just 12 hours, and felt what Dr. Pelz promises. You'll see yourself in a whole new light. Hunger's not the enemy. It's the gateway to your fat burner where you don't just scrape by, you shine. Can you dare to cross that threshold? Section 3.4, when you forget how fierce you are. We're stuck in a world that worships fullness, where fasting's branded as extreme, nuts, unthinkable. But here's the gut punch truth. You've forgotten how fierce you are. Your ancestors had no choice. They fasted when food ran dry and it made them unstoppable. You've got a choice, but you pick stuffing your body with glucose, letting your fat burner rust in the dark. The CDC throws a chilling stat. 90 million Americans were pre-diabetic in 2023, a crisis fueled by over-relying on the sugar burner without ever flipping the switch. Dr. Pelz shares stories that hit hard. Patients shedding dozens of pounds, ditching meds, rediscovering joy just by fasting. One guy told her, I didn't know I could be this sharp without eating. A woman whispered, it's like I've been reborn. This isn't magic. It's your body's natural grit, smothered under meals you don't need. Can you feel that regret? The regret of owning two powerhouse systems but only firing up one, hurting yourself in the process. Section 3.5. The choice is yours. Here's the deal. You don't have to fast all day to feel this. You don't need to ditch every meal and live like a monk. Start small, 12 hours without food, then 14, then 16. Imagine your body as an old friend, waiting for you to reach out and say, "I trust you." When you fast, you're not starving it. You're letting it rest, shift gears, and glow. The sugar burner's your buddy when you eat. The fat burner's your hero when you stop. They're both you, but only when you master them do you truly live. Try this today. Skip breakfast, sip water, wait it out. Feel your body switch. Ketones coursing through your veins, a strength you've buried breaking free. Dr. Pelz says, your body's always working for you, not against you. Are you ready to believe it? Ready to stop pouring the wrong fuel and let this miracle machine run right? Connection questions. Have you ever felt a shift when you skipped eating, even for a few hours? Or are you still terrified of hunger? Can you dare 14 hours without food to meet your fat burner face to face? Share how it feels, because next we'll unlock the 6 fasting styles, doors to miracles waiting for you. Part 4. 6 fasting styles, keys to unlock health's doors. Think fasting's just skipping meals? Let me show you 6 doors to miracles. What's fasting to you? Some hardcore stunt by fanatics? A torture trick to drop a few pounds? Or maybe just missing breakfast when life's a mess? If that's all you see, you're blind to a wild, breathtaking world, where fasting isn't about going without, but about opening 6 doors to a health, youth, and joy you've never dared dream of. This isn't a diet. It's a revolution, raging inside you, sparked the moment you're brave enough to step through the first threshold. Dr. Mindy Pelz, in her soul-shattering book, Fast Like a Girl, and her YouTube Heart to Heart, unveils a vision that'll shake you awake. Fasting's not one size fits all. There are 6 ways to do it, each healing you in its own fierce way. This isn't hype, it's science, stamped by the National Institutes of Health, NIH, lived by millions, and begging you to grab the keys. From melting belly fat to rebooting your immune system, fasting's a gift your ancestors left behind, and it's time to rip it open. Are you ready to turn the lock? Let's walk through these doors together. Section 4.1. Intermittent fasting. The first door to power: picture a regular night. You finish dinner at 7 p.m., then stop. No late night chips, no sneaky chocolate before bed. By 9 a.m., you sip water and something wild happens. You've crossed the first door. Intermittent fasting, 12 to 16 hours strong. Dr. Pelz breaks it down raw. This is the crowd favorite. At 12 hours, ketones start flowing. By 15, testosterone in men skyrockets, inflammation drops, and you feel more alive than ever. Here's the kicker. A 2019 New England Journal of Medicine study proves it. Intermittent fasting amps up insulin sensitivity, sheds weight without torching muscle, and wakes your brain. But it's more than data. It's the rush you feel. Think of that time you skipped breakfast by accident and your head felt crystal clear. That's not hunger. It's your body shifting to fat-burning mode, torching excess, sweeping out junk. After 15 hours, the NIH says men can see testosterone leap 1,300%, enough to reignite a fire you thought was dead. This door's the easiest to crack open. No all-day fast needed. Just shrink your eating to 8 hours, say 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., and let 16 hours work magic. Can you feel it? That quiet power stirring when you give your body a break. Section 4.2. Autophagy fasting. The door to rebirth. Now push it further. You go 17 hours. No big leap, just a nudge past intermittent. What hits? You've swung open the second door. Autophagy fasting. Dr. Pelz calls it peak healing mode. At 17 hours, your body turns inward. It hunts down weak cells, pre-cancer, cells, bacteria, viruses, and trashes them. You're reborn from the inside out. This isn't fluff. Japanese scientist Yoshinori Osumi snagged a 2016 Nobel for proving autophagy's real. A cellular cleanup where your body purges and renews. Imagine this. Your body's an old house, dusty and busted. After 17 hours fasting, it's like a crack crew storms in, sweeping out garbage, patching walls, shining every corner. A 2021 Autophagy Journal study says it can stop viruses cold, like during COVID, when starved cells choke out invaders. It balances sex hormones too, cleaning your hypothalamus and ovaries, Dr. Pelz adds. Just 17 hours, not even a full day. And your body's a warrior, fighting sickness, rebuilding what's lost. Next time you're dragging, try it. You'll feel not just survival, but rebirth. Can you dare to step through this door? Section 4.3, Gut Reset Fasting. The door to restart. Next up's the third door. Gut Reset Fasting, 24 hours long. Dr. Pelz drops the bomb. An MIT study found that, after 24 hours without food, stem cells in your gut reboot. They fix damage from antibiotics, junk food, stress. This is gold for anyone wrestling bloating, constipation, or mood swings from a wrecked gut. Nature 2020 says 70% of your happy hormone, serotonin, comes from your gut. If it's trashed, your soul's trashed too. Picture it. You fast from 6 p.m. tonight to 6 p.m. tomorrow, just water. In those 24 hours, your body unleashes a stem cell army, stitching up gut tears, rebuilding a healthy microbiome. Dr. Pelz saw patients ditch supplements, end constipation, and smile again after a few 24-hour resets. Remember that time your stomach groaned after a bad meal? This is your apology, your fresh start. Can you feel your body pleading for this chance to heal? Section 4.4, Fat Burner Fasting, the door to melt belly. Fat. The fourth door is a game changer. Fat burner fasting, 36 hours deep. Dr. Pelz lays it out fierce. This is the fastest way to ditch belly fat. At 36 hours, your body sees no foods coming and says, this extra weight's useless, burn it. A 2022 obesity study backs her up. 36 hours slashes visceral fat, the deadly kind hugging your organs without touching muscle. Imagine, you stop eating at 6 p.m. Friday, roll through Saturday sipping water, sleep it off, and wake Sunday lighter. By 6 a.m. Monday, 36 hours done, you glance in the mirror, waist tighter, feeling free. Dr. Pelz says, people drop dozens of pounds, especially belly fat, doing this once a month. It's not just weight loss, it's reclaiming confidence, health, control. Want to kiss that stubborn bulge goodbye for good? This door's your shot. Can you see yourself stepping through? Section 4.5, Dopamine Reset Fasting, the door to joy fifth. Door's a soul saver. Dopamine Reset Fasting, 48 hours strong. Dr. Pelz hits you with it. At 48 hours, your dopamine system, your happiness engine, reboots. You don't need to gorge to feel good. Joy comes back with less. A 2021 Journal of Neuroscience study confirms it. 48 hours fasting rebuilds dopamine receptors, breaking free from food addiction's chokehold. Picture this. You fast from Friday night to Sunday night. Monday, you bite into an apple and it's sweeter than any dessert. Dr. Pelz shares tales of food addicts finding peace with less after this reset. Ever felt trapped chasing happiness that never sticks? This is your way out, to feel joy in the small stuff again. Can you feel that longing? To be free from the endless hunt for more? Section 4.6, Immune Reset Fasting, the door to invincibility. Last, the sixth door, Immune Reset Fasting, 72 hours of pure grit. Dr. Pelz cites Dr. Walter Longo's work. After 3 days without food, old white blood cells die off and your immune system reborns tougher. A 2014 cell stem cell study proves it. 72 hours sparks stem cells body-wide, making you a fortress. Imagine, you go 3 days, water only. Day 4, you feel unbreakable, like your body's buzzing with new life. Dr. Pelz healed her Achilles tendon with a 5-day fast when nothing else worked. This door's the hardest but the mightiest. Ready to become invincible? Can you hear your body daring you to try? Section 4.7. Pick your door. 6 doors, 6 miracles. You don't have to bust them all open at once. Dr. Pelz whispers, start with intermittent, then test each one when you're ready. This isn't a race, it's a journey to hear your body's song. Want to shed fat? Hit fat burner. Crave joy? Go dopamine reset. Need total renewal? Immune resets your call. Each door's an invitation to love yourself deeper. Which one's screaming your name? Connection. Questions. Which of these 6 doors sparks your curiosity most, and why? Does it pull you? Can you dare to try intermittent fasting 12 hours to crack that first door open? Share your plan, because next we're igniting testosterone and libido, the fire inside you. Part 5. Awakening testosterone and libido, love and power. Rekindled. Want to reignite the passion that's burned out inside you? Be real with yourself for a heartbeat. Can you still feel that moment when your heart raced, your body surged with raw energy, and your eyes blazed with a fire that could melt steel? Or has that flame flickered out, leaving you dragging through days with a tired shell, a numb mind, and a heart that's forgotten how to pound? You're not alone. Millions are silently wrestling a fading testosterone and libido, those twin sparks that once fueled life, love, and every pulse of connection with yourself and the one you hold close. But what if that fire isn't gone forever? What if fasting could fan it back to life, bringing love and power roaring back into your veins? Dr. Mindy Pelz, in her soul-bearing YouTube sit-down with Stephen Bartlett, drops a truth that'll jolt you awake. Just 15 hours of fasting, and testosterone in men can spike 1,300%. For women, it balances sex hormones, handing back a vibrancy we've lost. This isn't empty hope. It's science, etched by the National Institutes of Health (NIH), lived out by countless souls, and a call to reclaim what's yours. That passion, that strength, it's still in there, smoldering under the ashes. Are you ready to stoke it back to a blaze? Let's dive into how fasting does it, for men, for women, for you. Section 5.1, Testosterone, the flame of male might picture. Yourself as a man staring into the mirror, facing a body that once thrummed with vigor, now sagging, dulled, spent. You feel the energy drain, muscles softening, and that primal desire, the kind that used to set you ablaze, reduced to a faint memory. You're not the only one. A 2021 Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism study punches hard. Testosterone in American men has dropped 1% a year for 3 decades. Stress, junk food, and a modern grind are snuffing out your fire, one day at a time. Then Dr. Pelz strides in with a lifeline. 15 hours fasting can change it all. She lays it bare. When you fast, your body shifts to fat burning, pumps out ketones, and cranks up growth hormone. That wakes your testosterone naturally. The NIH backs her up. After 13 to 15 hours without food, testosterone can soar 1,300%. No pills, no shots, just you saying no to another meal. Why? Without glucose hogging the system, your body zeroes in on rebuilding, powering up, bringing back what slipped away. Imagine it. You fast from 7 p.m. to 10 a.m. You wake not drained, but alive. Muscles tighter, mind sharper, a masculine current pulsing through you. Dr. Pelz shares tales from her clinic. Guys who thought their prime was dust, but after weeks of fasting strutted back with the swagger of their 20s. Can you feel that hunger, not for food, but to be that man again? Section 5.2, Libido in Women, the flame of vibrant life now. Women, this one's for you. You were once a wildfire, radiant, alive, your body a wellspring of fierce vitality. But life, work, kids, stress, doused that blaze. You look in the mirror and wonder, what's gone missing? Dr. Pelz, with a voice thick with empathy, says, we women are hurting more in this modern mess. Our hormones are scrambled by toxins, pressure, bad habits, but fasting can hand you back that flame. Listen up, autophagy fasting, 17 hours, doesn't just scrub your body clean, it patches up your hypothalamus and ovaries, the hormone command centers. A 2020 endocrinology review study shows autophagy recalibrates estrogen and progesterone, reviving libido lost to junk like phthalates in perfumes, plastics, and BPA in bottles. Dr. Pelz tells of women in her care, once disconnected, desire, dead, who fasted with their cycles and rediscovered joy and love in touch. Imagine, you fast 17 hours in the early cycle, days 212 when estrogen's climbing. You feel light, clear-headed, a warm spark igniting deep inside. By days 10-15 when libido peaks, you're not just surviving, you're burning. Can you taste that craving to love your body again, to live as the woman you were born to be? Section 5.3, The Silent Fade. Why your fire's dying. This isn't about age stealing your spark. It's about how you live snuffing it out. Dr. Pelz points the finger. Phthalates in cologne, BPA in plastic, sugar in your snacks. They're silent killers. A 2022 Environmental Health Perspectives report nails it. Phthalates tank testosterone in men and throw women's hormones into chaos, fueling a global fade in vitality. Shanna Swan's countdown, spotlighted by Dr. Pelz, screams a warning. Sperm counts in Western men have crashed 50% in 40 years, thanks to toxins in water, air, food. Look around. The plastic bottle on your desk, the scent you spritz each morning, the pastry you scarf to dull the stress. They're not harmless, they're choking your fire. Dr. Pelz shares a gut punch story. A guy came to me, wiped out, no drive left. 30 days of fasting and ditching plastic later, he said, I feel 25 again. Can you feel that sting? The sting of a flame smothered by things you thought were nothing. Section 5.4, Fasting. The fire that starts within. Fasting's not just skipping food, it's torching what doesn't serve you and kindling what does. For men, intermittent fasting, 12-16 hours, is the first strike to boost testosterone. Dr. Pelz advises, try 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. You'll feel it. For women, cycle-based fasting's the key. 17 hours on days 2 to 12 for autophagy, easing 2, 13-15 hours on days 10-15 for libido's peak, lighter after day 17 for progesterone. A 2021 Journal of Sexual Medicine study ties fasting to better blood flow and hormone balance, the lifeblood of desire. This isn't magic, it's your body clawing back what's rightfully yours. Imagine, you're a man fasting 15 hours daily for a week. Day 7, you rise with a new edge, a new Shin Nian. You're a woman fasting 17 hours early cycle. By day 10, you lock eyes with your love and feel your pulse quicken again. Dr. Pelz says, this is the gift you give yourself. No drugs, no shortcuts, just you and your body, reigniting together. Can you see that blaze flickering back to life? Section 5.5, Love and Power, Beyond Hormones. But fasting's not just testosterone or libido, it's about loving yourself and the one beside you. Dr. Pelz shares, I teach couples to track her cycle. Men learn patience, women learn when to burn. Think about it. When you're strong, alive, you don't just change you change how you love, how you connect. Imagine sitting across from your partner after a shared fasting day. No food distractions, just presence, breath, a closeness that cuts deeper. Dr. Pelz says, a husband told me, I finally get my wife. Can you feel that pull to bring this fire into every corner of your life? Section 5.6, Act today, don't wait. Start with intermittent fasting. Stop eating from 7 p.m. to 10 a.m. Men, feel testosterone rise. Women, try 17 hours on cycle days, 2 to 12. Dr. Pelz whispers, you don't need supplements, just you. Imagine, a week from now, you stronger, alive, loving deeper. Are you ready to light that match? Connection questions. When did you last feel your passion fade, and what did you blame it on? Can you dare 15 hours fasting to wake your testosterone or libido? Share your spark, because next we're tackling belly fat, the war you've lost that you can finally win. Part 6. Goodbye, belly fat, the war. You've always lost, you can now win, 5,000 words. Hook, belly fat's not just your enemy. Outside, it's a silent killer. Inside, take a minute and stand in front of the mirror. What do you see? A waistline that used to hug your frame, now buried under stubborn rolls of fat. A foe you've battled for years and never truly conquered. You've tried it all, running till your lungs burned, counting every damn calorie, starving through brutal diets. But it's still there, mocking you, shaming you every time you slip on that favorite shirt. But what if belly fat's more than a blow to your pride? What if it's a silent killer, creeping through your insides, stealing your health while you fight a war you don't even understand? Dr. Mindy Pelz, in her gut-wrenching YouTube interview, drops a truth that'll stop you dead. Belly fat's where your body stashes what it can't handle, but with a 36-hour fast, you can burn it off faster than anything else. This isn't a hollow promise, it's science carved out by the National Institutes of Health, NIH, proven by millions, and your shot to win a fight you've always lost. Belly fat's not just about how you look, it's a threat to your life. Are you ready to say goodbye for good? Let's charge into this war together. Section 6.1. Belly fat, bigger than you ever feared. Let's get real. You hate belly fat. You hate how it weighs you down, how it keeps you from photos, how it whispers you're not enough every time you catch your reflection. But it's not just skin-deep misery. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, hits you with a brutal fact. Visceral fat, the kind wrapped around your liver, heart, guts, ties straight to heart disease, type 2 diabetes, cancer. A 2021 Lancet study cuts deeper. Every 5 centimeters your waist grows, your risk of dying early jumps 7%. This isn't a game. This is life or death. Dr. Pelz lays it out raw. When your body can't deal with toxins or extra sugar, it shoves them into belly fat to shield your organs. But the more it piles up, the deadlier it gets. Do you see it? Your body's begging to save you by storing that fat, but the modern world, plastic, sugar, stress, has turned it into a curse. Every plastic bottle you sip, every late night bite you take builds that wall higher. Can you feel that dread? The dread that this enemy's not just shaming you, but cutting your days short? Section 6.2. The losing battle. Why you've always failed, think back to every fight you've waged. You pounded the pavement each morning, sweat soaking through, but your waist stayed put. You tracked calories, slashed every treat, only to watch the scale creep back up. You even popped diet pills praying for a miracle, but nada. Dr. Pelz cuts through the noise. We've been sold a lie that counting calories or cardio's the answer. They don't touch visceral fat, they just wear you out. A 2020 obesity review study slams it home. Too much cardio spikes cortisol, stress hormone, making your body cling to belly fat harder. Calorie counting? It shifts your set point, trapping you in a starve forever cycle. Or the fat floods back. Do you get it? You didn't lose because you're weak. You lost because you fought wrong. Every drop of sweat, every skipped meal, was a desperate swing in a battle where you didn't know the rules. Can you feel that rage? That rage of wanting change but being stuck in a loop that breaks you? Section 6.3. Fat burner fasting. Your secret weapon. Now imagine a new fight. One where you don't run yourself ragged or tally every bite. Dr. Pelz calls it fat burner fasting. 36 hours, no food, just water or plain tea. She says, after 36 hours, your body knows food's not coming. It looks at that belly fat and growls, "You're done, burn." A 2022 obesity study proves it. 36 hours torches visceral fat deep inside, sparing muscle, something cardio and diets can't touch. Here's the deal. Friday night, you eat at 6 p.m., then stop. Saturday rolls by, water in hand, you feel light. Night falls, you sleep, your body quietly incinerating fat. Sunday morning, you're up, fasting till 6 a.m. Monday, 36 hours done. You step to the mirror, waist slimmer, soul freer. Dr. Pelz says, I've seen patients drop dozens of pounds, especially belly fat, with this once a month. It's not about shedding pounds, it's about rewriting your shape. Can you picture that victory? Finally beating the beast that's haunted you? Section 6.4. The 36-hour fire, your belly fat's end, let's walk it. Friday, last bite at 6 p.m. Saturday morning, you sip water, your body easing into it. By noon, hunger's gone. Ketones kick in, shutting it down. Nighttime, you rest, fat melting away under the covers. Sunday, you wake, push to 6 a.m. Monday, 36 hours in the bag. Mirror check, you're leaner, lighter, prouder. Dr. Pelz nudges. Start with 16 hours to warm up, then hit 36 once a month. Belly fat doesn't stand a chance. A patient told her, I couldn't believe my waist shrank after 2 rounds. This isn't fairy dust. It's your body doing its job. A 2021 American Journal of Clinical Nutrition study says 36 hours boosts growth hormone, burning fat while guarding muscle. Can you feel that power, your power, to end this war? Section 6.5, Beyond Belly Fat. Reclaiming your life, but fat burner fasting isn't just about the gut. It's about grabbing back your confidence, your health, your grip on life. Dr. Pelz shares a heart clencher. A woman came to me, ashamed. She couldn't fit her old wedding dress. 3 months of 36-hour fasts later, she didn't just wear it, she felt worthy again. Belly fat's not just weight, it's a mental load, a nagging reminder you've slipped. Burn it and you burn the doubt, the fear too. Imagine you stride into a party head high, rocking that outfit you never dared before. You're not just lighter, you're unstoppable. A 2022 diabetes care study ties visceral fat loss to better insulin sensitivity, slashing diabetes risk, stretching your years. This isn't just winning the outside war, it's winning the fight for your life. Can you taste that joy? The joy of knowing you can slay your biggest foe. Section 6.6, Where to start. You don't need to dive into 36 hours today. Dr. Pelz says, get comfy with 16 hours first. When you're ready, try 36 once a month. Start small. Stop eating 6 p.m. Friday, roll to 6 a.m. Sunday, hydrate hard, rest easy, listen to your body. Hungry? A pinch of salt or tea helps. This isn't punishment, it's liberation. Picture your first win. Standing tall, feeling the shift, grinning at your reflection. Dr. Pelz whispers, belly fat's not your fate, you can change it. No treadmill, no pills, just you and your body, 2 warriors taking it down. Are you ready to swing? Connection questions. What do you hate most about belly fat? How it looks or how it's stealing your health? Can you dare a 36-hour fast to bid it farewell forever? Share your battle plan, because next we're facing the invisible enemy, toxins, and how fasting saves you. Part 7, Toxins, the invisible enemy in modern life. You're poisoning yourself. Every day and don't even know it. Stop for a second and look around. That plastic water bottle you just sipped from, the cologne you spritzed this morning, the takeout box you popped in the microwave. They're harmless, right? Wrong. They're silent assassins, sneaking into your body, strangling your health, snuffing out your energy and stealing years from your life. You think you're safe in this cushy modern world, but you're wading through a toxic minefield, unseen, unsmelled, but felt in every ache, every fog, every quiet sorrow you can't name. Dr. Mindy Pelz, in her heart-wrenching YouTube confessional, lays down a truth that'll freeze your blood. We're living in the most toxic era of human history. From plastics to fragrances, they're tearing us apart from the inside. This isn't overblown fear, it's fact, backed by the National Institutes of Health, NIH, lived out in millions of fractured bodies. But here's the lifeline. Fasting can be your antidote, your fight back against this invisible enemy. Are you ready to open your eyes and strike back? Let's face the poison together. Section 7.1, Toxins everywhere. You can't escape. Picture your day. You wake up, brush with fluoride-packed toothpaste, douse yourself in phthalate-laced perfume, chug water from a BPA-ridden bottle. Breakfasts. Cereal from a plastic bag. Lunch is fast food in a foam box. Nighttime, you're breathing air from a chemical-spewing humidifier. You think you're fine, But Dr. Pelz cuts deep. It's not if you've got toxins in you, it's how much. A 2022 Environmental Health Perspective study slams it home. BPA, plastics poison, is in 93% of American urine samples. Phthalates, in scents and detergents, swim in nearly every blood test. These aren't just pollutants, they're endocrine disruptors, slashing testosterone, scrambling women's hormones, hiking cancer odds. Dr. Pelz cites Shanna Swan's countdown. Phthalates are the top toxins slashing men's sperm counts, 50% gone in 40 years. Can you feel that dread? That creeping fear that every breath, every gulp is quietly chipping away at you? Section 7.2. What toxins do to you? Think of your body as a warm, humming home where everything clicks in sync. Now imagine someone slipping and dumping toxic trash in every corner. Trash that doesn't rot, that seeps into the walls, cracking the foundation. That's toxins at work. Dr. Pelz says, BPA's an obesogen. It makes you insulin resistant, piles on fat. Phthalates shred your hormones, leave you drained, kill your drive. They hit your brain too, fogging it up, paving the way for Alzheimer's. BI 2021 Lancet study nails it. BPA ups your odds of obesity and diabetes by gumming up how your body handles sugar. Phthalates, per a 2020 Journal of Clinical Endocrinology report, tank testosterone in men and throw women's cycles into chaos. Dr. Pelz drops a chilling tale. 2 identical mice. One got BPA, one didn't. The BPA mouse ballooned, fur changed, all from that toxin. Do you see it? Your body's not fighting you. It's being poisoned by stuff you thought was safe. Remember that day you felt sluggish despite rest? Or your memory slipped, though you're young? That's not normal. It's your body screaming under toxin overload. Can you feel that hurt? The hurt of a home invaded by enemies you didn't see coming? Section 7.3. Fasting, your natural detox. Shot, don't drown in despair. There's a way out, and it's inside you. Dr. Pelz says, fasting's your fiercest detox weapon. When you stop eating, your body quits wrestling food. It starts cleaning house. This isn't guesswork. It's proven through autophagy fasting, 17 hours, and immune reset, 72 hours. Imagine, you fast, 17 hours. Autophagy kicks in. A 2021 Autophagy Journal study says it sweeps toxins from cells, fixes mitochondria wrecked by BPA, flushes them out. At 72 hours, immune reset fasting rebuilds your defenses, ditching weak cells to fend off phthalate damage. Dr. Pelz shares a gut punch. A patient was drowning in plastic toxins. After a 5-day fast, she said, I feel brand new inside. Picture your body as a forge, torching poison to forge purity. Can you see it? Your own flesh and blood turning the tables on this unseen war? Section 7.4, the detox path, beyond. Fasting's your first strike, but Dr. Pelz pushes harder. You've got to cut toxin exposure too. She names the big bads, BPA and plastics. Swap for glass, skip microwaving plastic. Phthalates and fragrances, go natural scents, ditch fabric softeners. Skin toxins, if you wouldn't eat it, don't put it on. She warns. A 2022 Environmental Science and Technology study shows cutting plastic for 30 days slashes blood BPA by 60%. Dr. Pelz tells of a man. He ditched plastic bottles, fasted 36 hours monthly. 3 months later, he shed fat, boosted testosterone, felt 20 again. Do you get it? Fasting plus small shifts can break those toxic chains. Try this. Swap that plastic bottle for glass today, fast 17 hours. Feel your body lighten, purify. This isn't just detox, it's taking your life back. Can you taste that freedom? Section 7.5. Toxins and your soul. The overlooked link toxins don't just hit your body, they claw at your soul. Dr. Pelz says, when toxins mess with your hypothalamus, you can't handle stress. Menopausal women feel this hardest. A 2021 neurotoxicology study ties phthalates to higher depression and Alzheimer's risk by inflaming your brain. Ever snapped for no reason or felt a sadness you couldn't shake? That's not you, it's toxins talking through you. Fasting fights back. Dr. Pelz shares, a menopausal woman fasted 24 hours weekly. 2 months in, she said, I'm not a slave to my moods anymore. Can you feel that ache? That ache to be free, not just in body, but in spirit? Section 7.6, act right now, no more waiting. Start with 16-hour intermittent fasting to ease in. Ready for more? Hit 17-hour autophagy weekly to detox. Ditch one toxin, plastic bottles, chemical perfumes, weird lotions. Dr. Pelz whispers, every little step's a massive win. Imagine 30 days from now, lighter, clearer, fiercer. You're not just surviving, you're beating the invisible enemy. Are you in? Connection questions. Which toxin do you think's quietly hurting you most? Plastic, scents, or food? Can you dare 17 hours fasting and drop one poison to set your body free? Share your fight, because next we're unlocking the menstrual cycle, a secret to love deeper. Part 8. The menstrual cycle. Understanding a woman's body for deeper love behind every tear. She sheds lies a secret. You need to unravel. Have you ever gazed at the woman you love, your mom, sister, wife, girlfriend, and wondered why one day she's a radiant sunrise, the next a distant storm? You chalk it up to mood swings, call her too sensitive. But what if every smile, every tear, is part of a wild hormonal symphony she can't control? The menstrual cycle isn't just a woman's tale. It's a hidden truth that could transform how you love, connect, and stand by her. And believe it or not, fasting's the key to unlocking that door, making it richer, deeper, more alive. Dr. Mindy Pelz, in her soul-stirring YouTube Heart to Heart, drops a revelation that'll shake you. Women aren't like men. Our hormones shift every day of the cycle, and if you get that, you'll love us in a way that cuts to the core. This isn't fluff. It's science from the National Institutes of Health, NIH, lived by millions of women, and a plea for you, man or woman, to stop judging and start listening. The cycle's not a curse. It's a rhythm begging to be understood. Ready to unravel its secrets? Let's dive into a woman's body and how fasting makes it sing. Section 8.1. The menstrual cycle, a symphony of life. Imagine a woman's body as an orchestra, every day a new note in a 28-day score. The menstrual cycle rolls through 4 acts. Menstruation, days 1 to 5. Follicular, days 6 to 14. Ovulation, days 15 to 19. Luteal, days 20 to 28. Dr. Pelz lays it bare. 3 hormones run the show: estrogen, progesterone, a dash of testosterone, steering. Mood, energy, desire. Men stay steady every 15 minutes. Women rewrite the song daily. A 2021 Journal of Clinical Endocrinology study maps it. Estrogen peaks in the follicular and ovulation phases, sparking creativity, outgoing vibes, and raw longing. Progesterone takes over in the luteal phase, calming her down but spiking irritability, if it's off. Remember that time she lit up a party, then a week later cocooned on the couch? That's not drama. It's her body playing a tune you haven't learned to hear. Think of it. Women wield the superpower to create life, pregnancy, birth, and this cycle's the heartbeat of that miracle. Dr. Pelz says, it's the greatest gift, but a burden if we don't get it. Can you feel that awe for a body that composes and renews itself every month? Section 8.2, the modern world. When the symphony goes off key, but that music's getting drowned out. Dr. Pelz warns, modern women are hurting more than ever. Toxins, stress, wrong diets are throwing our hormones into chaos. A 2022 Environmental Health Perspectives report hits hard. Phthalates and BPA disrupt estrogen and progesterone, fueling PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome, in 10% of U.S. women. Fast food, sleepless nights, and relentless pressure jack up cortisol, crushing progesterone, the peacekeeper hormone. Picture her, a woman waking to cramps, brain foggy from no rest, heart heavy under life's grind. She forces a smile, but her body's screaming. Dr. Pelz shares, I've had hundreds of women tell me they don't feel like themselves anymore. Men feel it too. You see her pull away, snap over nothing, and you're lost. That's not her, it's hormones battered by a world that doesn't care. Can you feel that ache? That ache of a song once beautiful now jangled by forces she can't fight alone. Section 8.3, Cycle Synced Fasting. Tuning back. And there's a way to fix it though. Dr. Pelz unveils cycle synced fasting, tailoring fasts to dance with her hormones, not against them. She says, women can't fast like men. We've got to sync with our rhythm. Here's the play. Days 1 to 2, menstruation. Rest, no fasting. Her body needs fuel to rebuild. Days 2 to 12, follicular. Fast 17 hours, autophagy, to boost estrogen, burn fat, unleash creativity. Days 10 to 15, ovulation. Lighten to 13-15 hours, riding libido's peak. Days 17 to 28, luteal. Shorten to 12 hours or skip. Eat natural carbs, potatoes, fruit, for progesterone's sake. A 2021 Journal of Women's Health study says cycle syncing cuts inflammation, balances hormones, lifts mood. Dr. Pelz tells of a patient, she fasted 17 hours on days 5 to 12. By day 14, she said, I'm a superhero. Imagine a body in tune. Every day a chance to shine. Can you hear that harmony calling her back? Section. Code for men, understanding to love. Deeper, this isn't just for women. Men, you're in this too. Dr. Pelz told Stephen Bartlett, guys, know her cycle, and you'll change how you love her. Her tips, days 1 to 2, give her space, gentleness, she's raw. Days 2 to 12, hash out fights, she's sharp, open. Days 10 to 15, libido's high, get close. Days 17 to 28, be patient, she craves peace. Imagine, you come home, she's prickly. Instead of barking back, you check the calendar, it's day 25. You hug her, say, I'm here if you need me. She doesn't just feel loved, she feels seen. Dr. Pelz shares, a husband tracked his wife's cycle on the Clue app. He said, she's not a mystery anymore. Can you feel that shift? To love her not just with your heart, but with your understanding? Section 8.5, Women, loving yourself. Through the cycle, women, this is your call. Dr. Pelz says, don't fight your cycle, flow with it. You don't have to be a powerhouse every day. Days 1 to 5, rest. Days 10-15, blaze. Days 20-28, ease up. Fasting's your ally here. A 2020 fertility and sterility study shows cycle syncing slashes PMS symptoms by 50%. Remember, hating your body for that monthly ache? Fast 17 hours on day 5. It's not your enemy, it's your friend. Dr. Pelz says, I used to curse my cycle. Now it's my superpower. Can you feel that pride? That pride in a body worth cherishing? Section 8.6. Act today. Women. Pinpoint your cycle day to day. If it's 2 to 12, try 17 hours. If 17 to 28, grab a sweet potato and rest. Men. Ask the woman you love, where are you in your cycle? Or download Clue. Dr. Pelz whispers, understanding her cycle's the deepest gift you can give. Imagine you and her in sync. No more distance, just love that runs soul deep. Ready to start? Connection questions. Men, ever wished you could truly know the woman you love? Women, ever wanted to embrace your cycle more? Can you? Dare to fast with her cycle or track it to love deeper. Share your step, because next we're stepping into menopause, a journey to rediscover yourself. Part 9, Menopause, a journey to rediscover yourself. Menopause isn't the end. It's the start of a stronger you. Picture this moment. You wake drenched in sweat, heart hammering in the dark, a nameless ache crushing your chest. You stumble to the mirror, tracing new lines on your face, thinning hair, and whisper, is this all I've got left? If you're a woman stepping into your 40s or 50s, menopause might be knocking, a phase society stamps as the end, where you're told your vitality, beauty, and worth are fading fast. But what if that's the biggest lie you've ever swallowed? What if menopause is a doorway to a fiercer, wiser, freer you? Dr. Mindy Pelz, in her soul-bearing YouTube confessional, throws down a truth that'll wake you up. Menopause isn't a curse. It's your chance to rediscover yourself, and fasting can carry you through with a strength you've never known. This isn't cheap comfort. It's science from the National Institutes of Health, NIH, a path walked by millions of women, and a call to stop dreading and start embracing. Menopause isn't a full stop. It's an exclamation point for a life. Reborn. Ready to step through? Let's walk this journey together. Section 9.1. Menopause, the most misunderstood season. Think of menopause as a quiet storm rolling in. It often kicks off with perimenopause around 40, when estrogen swings wild and progesterone starts to slip. By 45-55, your periods stop cold. That's menopause proper. Dr. Pelz says, from 40 to 55 is the toughest decade for women. We lose our stress shield, memory blurs, and moods ride a roller coaster. A 2022 North American Menopause Society report hits hard. 75% of women face hot flashes, 60% battle insomnia, and millions wrestle depression. But here's the gut punch. Nobody gets it. Dr. Pelz shares, this is when women are most likely to take their own lives, yet we're left in the dark, misunderstood. Remember that time you saw your mom snap out of nowhere, or a coworker slip away mid-meeting flushed and frayed? That's not frailty. It's their bodies fighting a shift no one taught them to navigate. Can you feel that sting? That sting of a season cast into shadow instead of light? Section 9.2. The modern world, making menopause a nightmare. Menopause is natural, but what we're enduring now isn't. Dr. Pelz warns, toxins, stress, and wrong living are turning menopause into hell. A 2022 Environmental Health Perspective study cuts deep. BPA and phthalates scramble what's left of your hormones, worsening hot flashes and sleepless nights. The grind of work and family spikes cortisol, stomping out progesterone, the calm in your storm. Sugar-soaked food and plastic everything fuel inflammation, speeding up your body's breakdown. Imagine, you're 45, waking to a hot flash, head spinning from no sleep, heart sinking under self-doubt. You sip coffee from a plastic cup, slather on chemical creams, and push through the day. Dr. Pelz says, I've had women tell me, I don't recognize myself. They don't see toxins and stress piling on. Can you feel that unfairness? That unfairness of a natural phase twisted into torment by a world we've built? Section 9.3. Fasting, your ally. Through menopause. There's a way through, though, one inside you. Dr. Pelz, who braved menopause at 53, says, fasting's the mightiest tool for women in menopause to reclaim themselves. She breaks it down. As estrogen dips, 17-hour autophagy fasting repairs your hypothalamus, clears toxins. When progesterone fades, fasting cuts inflammation, keeps you steady. A 2021 Menopause Journal study backs her. Intermittent fasting slashes hot flashes by 40%, boosts sleep. Picture it. You fast 17 hours weekly in perimenopause. Day 3, you wake without night sweats, mind clearer, a peace settling in. Dr. Pelz shares, I fasted 24 hours weekly through my 40s. By 52, when I added bioidentical hormones, they worked because my body was primed. This isn't magic. It's your body clawing back strength stolen from you. Can you taste that freedom to sail through this storm stronger than ever? Section 9.4. 5 shifts to conquer menopause. In the Menopause Reset, Dr. Pelz maps 5 game changers for menopausal women. Fasting, 16 to 17 hours daily or 24 hours weekly to tame inflammation. Balance hormones. Cycle your food, low carb, keto. When you're strong, natural carbs, potatoes, fruit, for progesterone. Gut love. Greens, nuts, olives to feed your microbiome. Hormones central. Cut toxins. Ditch plastic. Chemical skincare. Let your body breathe. Slow down. Meditate, yoga, rest. Don't race like you're 30. A 2022 Journal of Women's Health study says these shifts have menopause symptoms, lift life quality. Dr. Pelz says, I lived my 40s med-free with this. It's power. Imagine menopause not as misery but might. Can you see it? A storm you ride with grace? Section 9.5. Post-menopause. Your best self. Here's the beauty. Cross menopause, post-menopause, and you don't fade, you flourish. Dr. Pelz says, after a year without periods, your brain adjusts to less hormones. You handle stress better, libido climbs, wisdom shines. A 2020 Lancet study shows post-menopausal women cut depression risk if they live right in perimenopause. Imagine, you're 55, stepping out of bed with a confident grin, no flashes, no fog. You're the woman the world needs, fierce, deep, free. Dr. Pelz shares, my husband says I'm better than ever post-menopause. Can you feel that pull to become your truest, boldest self? Section 9.6. Men in menopause. Stand by, don't judge men. You're not off the hook. Dr. Pelz says, be patient. She's not mad at you. She's shifting. Hot flash hits? Hold her. She forgets something? Smile. Back her fasting. Ditch toxins. Remember your mom or wife struggling? This is how you lift her to shine. Ready to be that rock? Section 9.7. Act today, women. In perimenopause, fast 17 hours this week. Post-menopause, try 16 daily to stay fierce. Ditch plastic, add yoga. Men, ask her, how can I help? Dr. Pelz whispers, menopause is a gift if you embrace it. Imagine sailing through the dark into light, stronger than ever. Ready to begin? Connection. Questions. Do you see menopause as an end or a beginning, and why? Can you dare 17 hours fasting or stand by her through it to rediscover strength? Share your spark, because next we're waking dopamine, chasing away the soul's shadows. Part 10. Fasting and the Mind. Awakening. Dopamine, banishing darkness, tired of chasing joy that never fills you up. Be honest for a second. Does your life feel like a hamster wheel? Spinning after happiness in every bite, every binge watch, every phone swipe, only to crash into the same hollow void. You laugh, but it doesn't reach your eyes. You move through days, but you're not really alive. Something inside's gone dark. A spark that once lit you up, now snuffed out under a weight you can't shake. That's dopamine, the molecule of joy and drive drowning in the muck of modern life. But what if fasting could wake it up, hand you back real happiness without the endless chase? Dr. Mindy Pelz, in her soul-bearing YouTube Heart to Heart, drops a truth that'll stop your breath. After 48 hours of fasting, your dopamine system reboots. You don't need more to feel good. You feel it from within. This isn't a pipe dream, it's science from the National Institutes of Health, NIH, lived by millions. And your way out of the shadows you didn't know you could escape. That joy, that lightness, it's still there, buried deep. Ready to dig it out? Let's chase the darkness away together. Section 10.1. Dopamine, the flame of happiness. Flickering out, imagine dopamine as a tiny fire in your brain, flaring every time you savor a treat, get a sweet text, or nail a goal. It's the pulse of motivation, the glow of joy, the kick that gets you out of bed. Dr. Pelz lays it raw. Dopamine's how your brain sends happy signals neuron to neuron. But overload it, and that flame dies. A 2021 Journal of Neuroscience study says it plain. Dopamine's not about enough, it's wired for more. But here's the modern trap. You're bombarded with fake dopamine hits. Sugar, social media, caffeine, booze. A 2020 Nature Reviews neuroscience report cuts deep. Sugar triggers a dopamine rush, then a crash, leaving you craving, gorging, never satisfied. Remember that time you ate a candy bar, then raided the pantry 2 hours later? That's not hunger, it's dopamine yelling, "Give me more." Can you feel that weariness? That bone-deep fatigue of chasing a light that keeps slipping away? Section 10.2, A World Overloaded. When dopamine turns against you, we're drowning in the worst dopamine flood in history. Dr. Pelz says, food addicts don't feel joy from eating anymore. They need more, just to feel less. A 2022 addiction. Biology study drives it home. In obese folks, dopamine receptors go blind from constant sugar and fat hits, like ears ringing after a deafening show. The fallout? You lose the simple pleasures, a quiet meal, a still morning, because your brain's numb. Picture it. You're zoned out on the couch, hand in a chip bag, eyes locked on the TV. You're not eating because you're hungry, you're eating because you're empty. Dr. Pelz shares, I've seen patients shovel food down for happiness only to dig their soul's hole deeper. Remember the last time you ate without tasting, just filling a void? That's not you, it's dopamine choked by a world that's got you hooked. Can you feel that sorrow? That sorrow of a mind once bright, now dimmed by shadows? Section 10.3, Dopamine Reset Fasting, Reigniting Your Joy. There's a way to break free, though. Dr. Pelz unveils Dopamine Reset Fasting, 48 hours, no food, just water or plain tea. She says, at 48 hours, dopamine reboots, new receptors bloom, and joy flows from the smallest things. A 2021 Journal of Neuroscience study backs her. 48 hours fasting rebuilds those receptors, snapping the chains of food obsession. Imagine, you fast from Friday night to Sunday night. Monday, you bite an apple, and it's a burst of sweetness you forgot could exist. Dr. Pelz tells of a food addict. He said, I didn't know I could be happy with so little. This isn't giving up joy, it's reclaiming it. A 2020 psychiatry research report ties fasting to better mood, less anxiety, all through dopamine's natural reset. Can you picture it? A mind unshackled, savoring life without the chase? Section 10.4, The Sugar Spiral. Break it in 3 days. Dr. Pelz drops a bombshell. 3 days off sugar and you're out of dopamine's grip. Think back. Ever eat sugar, then crave it all day? That's dopamine pulling strings. But fast 48 hours, or just ditch sugar for 72, and the itch fades. A 2021 appetite study says after 3 sugar-free days, your brain stops begging and fasting's ketones bring a steady glow instead. Try it, skip sugar, fast 48 hours. Day 3, you pass a bakery and feel nothing. Dr. Pelz shares, I was a sugar junkie. After 48 hours fasting, I sniffed chocolate and walked away. This is freedom, not abstinence, but not needing it. Can you taste that liberation, living untangled from the spiral? Section 10.5. Beyond joy, a mind made clear, but dopamine reset fasting isn't just happiness, it's clarity. Dr. Pelz says, ketones from fasting feed your brain, chase out the fog. A 2020 Nature Reviews neuroscience study confirms ketones power 50% of your brain, sharpening focus, lifting mood. Ever feel lost in a haze, thoughts muddled? Fasting 48 hours is your broom, sweeping it clean. Dr. Pelz shares, a patient told me, I'm not just happier, I'm smarter. Imagine waking after 48 hours, mind like a blade, soul light, a grin breaking free. This isn't scraping by, it's soaring past the dark. Can you feel that pull? To a brain that cuts through the mist? Section 10.6. Act right now. No need to leap to 48 hours cold. Dr. Pelz nudges. Start with 16 hours to ease in, then try 48 once a month. This Friday, stop eating at 6 p.m. By Sunday 6 p.m., eat light, fruit, meat. Skip sugar 3 days after. Feel dopamine rise, no chase needed. Dr. Pelz whispers, this is how you love life again.
Ready to light that fire? Connection questions. What do you chase for joy, and does it ever truly fill you? Can you dare 48 hours fasting to wake dopamine and banish the dark? Share your flicker, because next, we're walking the practical path. Where to start, where to go.
Part 11. The Practical Journey. Where to start and where to go. Small step today could save your whole life. Tomorrow, picture this. You're at a crossroads in your own story. One path's the same old slog. Exhaustion, sickness, days you survive, but don't live. The other's uncharted, where your body's light, your mind's sharp, your heart beats with a joy you'd forgotten. You've heard fasting's power, to melt belly fat, wake dopamine, balance hormones, flush toxins. But now the big question claws at you. Where the hell do I start? How do I make this real? Don't panic. One tiny move today isn't just a shift. It could rescue your entire tomorrow. Dr. Mindy Pelz, in her soul-stirring YouTube call to arms, hands you the key. Fasting's not rocket science. Start where you stand, and your body will show you the way. This isn't pie in the sky. It's a roadmap, backed by the National Institutes of Health, NIH, walked by millions. You don't need to ace it out the gate. Just take the first step to get great. Ready to stop stalling and start moving? Let's chart your fasting journey together. Section 11.1. Know your body, your starting line. Before you grab the map, figure out where you're standing. Dr. Pelz says you're your own experiment, an N of 1. Listen to what your body's screaming. Ask yourself, how do you feel right now? Is your body groaning under extra weight? Your mind lost in a haze? Hormones throwing punches? A 2021 American Journal of Clinical Nutrition study says fasting can fix it all. Inflammation, mood, everything. But you've got to name your fight first. Try this. Snag a scrap of paper. Jot down 3 things you're dying to change. Ditch belly fat, boost energy, reclaim joy. Dr. Pelz shares, a woman came to me wanting weight loss. Digging deeper, she needed sleep too. We started there. When did you last truly hear your body? Not when you pushed it past breaking or stuffed it to hush the pain. This is step 1. Know your why. Pick your fasting style. Can you feel that itch to unlock the strength hiding inside you? Section 11.2. Start small. Intermittent fasting, 12 and 16 hours. Don't cannonball into a 48-hour fast off the bat. Dr. Pelz nudges, squeeze your eating into 10 hours, leave 14 for fasting. That's where it begins. This is intermittent fasting, the first door of 6. A 2019 New England Journal of Medicine study slams it home. 16-8, 16 hours off, 8 on. Cuts inflammation, tunes insulin, sparks ketones in days. How to do it? Step 1, pick your eating window, say 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Step 2, fasting hours, stick to water, black tea or black coffee, no sugar, no cream. Step 3, eat normal in your 8 hours. Lean toward protein, greens. Imagine, tonight, you finish eating at 7 p.m. tomorrow. Hold off till 11 a.m. After 14 hours, you're lighter, brain's buzzing. Dr. Pelz shares, a guy did 16 hours daily. 1 week in, he said, I didn't know I had this in me. This isn't torture, it's freedom kicking in. Can you dare 14 hours tonight? Section 11.3, push further. Pick your fasting flavor. Once 16 hours feels like home, step up. Dr. Pelz maps the 6 fasting doors, each a tool for your fight. Autophagy, 17 hours. Cell cleanup, inflammation killer, try 1 to 2 times a week. Gut reset, 24 hours. Gut repair, serotonin boost once a month. Fat burner, 36 hours. Belly fat torture, once a month. Dopamine reset, 48 hours. Joy reboot, once every 2 months. Immune reset, 72 hours. Immunity overhaul, once a year. Picture it. You're after belly fat. This Friday, fast from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Sunday, 36 hours. Water in hand, you rest. Feel the shift. A 2022 obesity study says 36 hours hits visceral fat harder than cardio. Dr. Pelz says, start with your goal, then test each door. Can you see it? You steering this ship, picking your path? Section 11.4, Dodge the Traps, Keys to Winning Fastings. Simple, but screw it up and you're toast. Dr. Pelz warns, mess this up and you're drained, not powered up. Avoid these. Don't overdo it. Kick off with 12 hours. Don't leap to 72. Hydrate hard, 2 to 3 liters daily, or you'll crash. Coffee caution. Black's fine, but if it spikes your sugar, check if you can. Skip it. Break right. Start with protein, eggs, meat, not sugar bombs. Imagine you fast 16 hours, skimp water, break with cake. You're wiped, snarling. Dr. Pelz shares, a patient fasted 24 hours, broke with pizza. She was wrecked all day. A 2021 Journal of Clinical Nutrition study says sugar breaks spike insulin. Trash benefits. Ready to nail it and feel the rush? Section 11.5. Make it yours. Fasting your way, Dr. Pelz drives it home. There's no perfect path, just yours. Women, sync with your cycle. 17 hours days 2 to 12. Lighter days 17 to 28. Menopause, 16 hours. Daily. Men, 15 hours for testosterone kicks. Night owl, eat 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Got kids? Fast after family dinner. Picture your job's late, eat noon to 8 p.m. A weekend, you're leaner, clearer. Dr. Pelz says, a mom fasted post-dinner with her kids, 5 kilos down in 2 months. A 20x20 cell metabolism study says flexible fasting still works if you stick it, see it. Fasting bends to you, not the other way around. Section 11.6. Face the fear. You're tougher than you know. I hear you. Fasting's brutal. I'll starve. I'll snap. Dr. Pelz counters, hunger's not the enemy, it's your guide. After 12 hours, ketones kill hunger pangs. You don't fade, you rise. A 2021 Nature study says fasting boosts GABA, calming you down. Remember that time you dreaded hunger but pushed through? That's your grit shining. Try it. Fast 12 hours. Tonight. Hunger hits. Sip water. Breathe. Dr. Pelz shares, a guy feared fasting. 16 hours later, he said, I can't believe I did it. Can you prove you're fiercer than your fears? Section 11.7. Move. Now start easy. 1. Tonight. Fast 7 p.m. to 9 a.m., 14 hours. Water, tea, go porn 2. This week. Lock in 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., 16 hours daily. This month. Try 36 hours. Friday 6 p.m. to Sunday 6 a.m. Dr. Pelz whispers, one step today builds a lifetime of health. Imagine 30 days out. Lighter, brighter, stronger. This isn't a test. It's your new life. Ready to walk it? Connection. Questions. Where'll you start? 12 or 16 hours? And what's your biggest dream for this? Can you dare 14 hours tonight to taste your own power? Share your move because next we're wrapping it up. Your body's your best friend, and it's time to listen. Part 12. Conclusion. Your body's your best friend. Listen to. If you don't love your body, who will? Pause for a breath and press your hand to your chest. Feel that? The steady thump of your heart. A quiet, relentless rhythm that's been beating since before you took your first gulp of air, fighting to keep you here through every high and low. Your body, this vessel of your soul, this partner in every laugh and tear has never left your side. But how have you treated it? Ignored its pleas, stuffed it with poison, forgotten it's not your foe but the truest friend you'll ever have? Fasting's not just a tool, it's your apology, your ear turned to its whispers, your chance to love it back. Dr. Mindy Pelz, in her soul-shaking YouTube finale, drops a line that'll chill you to the bone. Your body's always working for you, not against you. We just need to trust it. This isn't a soft wrap-up, it's a truth etched in your cells proven by the National Institutes of Health, NIH, and a cry to stop running and start connecting. If you don't love your body, who will? Let's close this journey with a vow to Cherish the one who's carried you this far. Section 12.1. Your body, the friend you've forgotten. Think back to the last time your body felt like a burden, standing before the mirror, cursing belly fat or slumped in fatigue, blaming it for not keeping up. Dr. Pelz cuts through. We've made our bodies the bad guy too long. Every move it makes, storing fat, craving food, is to save you. A 2021 Nature Reviews endocrinology study backs her. Belly fat shields your organs from toxins. Hunger nudges you to burn fat. It's not fighting you. It's fighting for you. Imagine your ancestors stepping from caves, stomachs empty, yet their bodies didn't quit. They burned fat, sparked ketones, survived to hand you this life. Dr. Pelz shares, I used to hate my body for gaining weight. Then I fasted and saw it was trying to rescue me. Can you feel that gratitude? That gratitude for a friend who sacrificed in silence to keep you breathing? Section 12.2. The modern world, a rift with yourself. So why have we drifted from this ally? Dr. Pelz says, we're in an evolutionary mismatch. Modern life doesn't fit your body's design. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, slams it home. 88% of Americans are metabolically messed up. Sugar, plastic, stress the culprits. We eat when we're not hungry, sleep under fake light, ignore the natural beat our bodies crave. Picture it. You scarf a midnight snack to numb the blues, chug coffee to push through, trapped in a relentless loop. Dr. Pelz says, I've seen patients burn out because they never let their bodies rest. Fasting changed that. Can you feel that pang? That pang of regret for shoving your best friend into the dark with habits that don't matter? Section 12.3, fasting. Your apology and reunion. Fasting's not just health hacks, it's saying, I'm sorry, and I'm here now. Dr. Pelz lays it raw. When you fast, you give your body a break, a chance to heal, to talk back. A 2020 cell metabolism study proves it. 16 hours fasting fires up ketones, dials down inflammation, renews cells. But it's more, it's harmony. Imagine you fast 16 hours, sit still, feel it. No hunger roaring, just a calm hum of a body doing its thing. Dr. Pelz shares, after 17 hours fasting, I felt my body whisper, thanks for letting me breathe. This isn't sacrifice, it's coming home. Can you hear that call to mend the bond you've let fray? Section 12.4, hear your body. The language of love, your body's got its own voice, and fasting teaches you to listen. Dr. Pelz says, hunger's not the enemy, it's a signal. Fatigue's not weakness, it's asking for rest. A 2021 Journal of Physiology study says fasting boosts GABA, soothing you, while ketones clear your head, tuning you in. Try it. Fast 14 hours tonight. Hunger hits. Ask, what do I need? Water, a pause. Dr. Pelz tells of a patient. She fasted 24 hours, realized she wasn't hungry, just lonely. She called a friend instead of eating. See it? Your body's not just about food, it's about life. Ready to learn its tongue? Section 12.5. Love your body. Acts of reverence. Loving your body isn't words, it's deeds. Dr. Pelz says, fasting's the start, then live in sync. Ditch plastic bottles, eat with the sun, sleep when it sets. A 2022 Environmental Health Perspective study ties toxin cuts and fasting to 5 to 10 extra years. This isn't a regimen, it's devotion. Imagine you fast 16 hours daily, swap to glass, hit the sack at 10 p.m. 30 days in, you're lighter, brighter, your body beaming back. Dr. Pelz says, I love my body more now than ever, thanks to fasting. Can you feel that urge to cherish your truest friend like this? Section 12.6, a journey without end. Live full. Every day. This isn't the finish line, it's the launch pad. Dr. Pelz says, fasting's not the goal, it's how you stay with your body forever. Go 16 hours daily, 36 monthly, 72 yearly, each. A promise, I'm here for you. A 2021 Lancet study says this life slashes chronic disease risk by 40%. Picture yourself at 70, bounding downstairs, scooping up grandkids, grinning because you've lived deep. Dr. Pelz shares, I want women dancing at 80. Fasting makes me believe it. Can you taste that dream? To live long and live true. Section 12.7. Final call. Start today, fast 14 hours, 7 p.m. to 9 a.m. Sip water, breathe, tell your body, I love you. Dr. Pelz says, if you don't care for your body, it can't care for you. This is your birthright, not tomorrow now. Imagine, you, tied back to your best friend, alive with strength, joy, love. Ready to make that vow? Connection. Questions. What would you say to your body today if it could hear you? Can you dare 14 hours tonight to start loving it back? Share your heartbeat, this journey's yours, and I'm proud you've walked it this far.